Call tonight's meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Braden. Here. Target.
Here.
Mirabella.
Here.
McCarthy.
Here.
Whitmore. Here. White.
Here.
Mayor Bruce.
Here. Please stand for tonight's invocation and pledge of allegiance. Tonight's invocation will be provided by Pastor Tim Pycroft.
All right. Will you pray with me? Lord, we come before you tonight, and God, we ask, number one, that you would continue to provide protection over the city and the people of it. Lord, we lift up all the officials that are gathered here this evening, that any decisions that are made, Lord, that they would be made wisely and for the good of this community. Lord, we pray that you would give them wisdom, discernment, knowledge needed to carry out their duties. We also pray for all the first responders that are, whether they're on shift or coming on or any time that they serve, Lord, that you would watch over them, protect them as they guide and serve. Lord, we thank you for opportunities such as this to be used for your purpose in your kingdom and in this city. We pray all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item, I need a motion to approve the September 24th, 2024 regular board meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on the minutes? Roll call, please.
Braden. Aye. Target.
Aye.
Mirabella.
Aye.
McCarthy.
Aye.
Whitmore. Aye. White.
Aye.
Motion carried. We move on to mayor's report. I need a motion to adopt resolution approving appointing Lazio Cultor to a full-time police officer.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on that? It's just filling a spot that we need for a full-time officer. Roll call?
Braden. Aye. Target.
Aye.
Mirabella.
Aye.
McCarthy.
Aye.
Whitmore. Aye. White.
Aye.
Motion carried. I need a motion to adopt resolution approving resolution to appointing Jenna Sanchez to deputy village clerk.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? I just want to say it's a backup for Debbie. When Julie was here, Debbie was a backup for Julie. So, any other discussion on that?
Just want to say that appreciative of all our staff, just that they continue to step up as people move on and do it, and everyone doing everything. Debbie being here, I appreciate that whenever I send stuff to her at the last minute for EDC, that she's always very pleasant and helpful and responding, and I don't know if she really is happy to help, but she says she is, so I appreciate that, and I appreciate God and all of that.
Yeah, no, I talked to Debbie today, and I talked to Kara. They all work really well together, and they all work really well with David as well. So,
Yeah, and it's, when they get to do this, it's new opportunities. I know from experience, it's new things to learn, so it's always good that they get, new skills and everything.
yep. Thank you, Dana. Anybody else? Okay, roll call, please.
Braden. Aye. Target.
Aye.
Mirabella.
Aye.
McCarthy.
Aye.
Whitmore. Aye. White.
Aye.
Motion carried. One other item, I want to just bring this up to everybody who may be watching and the board. Hosted by Winter Park Lions Club, Bingo Bonanza will be on Saturday, November 2nd. Doors open at 11 a.m. It's at the Schlater Building. Please come out and partake in this. I'm going to be there, but it's going to be a huge event, and I'm only worried about parking because I know it's going to be attended by a lot of people. So please come out and join that. It's going to be a great event for the Lions Club.
What's the date?
On November 2nd. Doors open at 11 a.m., game starts at 1 p.m. $20 per person, includes 1, 9, and 1, 6 on plus 2 raffle tickets. I don't know what that means. 1, 9 on and 1, 6 on plus 2
Those
raffle.
are the bingo sheets that you get.
Okay,
For 1 6, 1 9.
okay, thank you.
Bingo, lingo.
Okay, we don't have a village administrator's report, Dave's not here tonight, so we'll move on to clerk's correspondence. Okay, we move on to new business committee reports. I just want to say one thing. Item 4 under administration and community development is going to be moved down to public works and recreation after number 1, so it'll be the second item under public works and recreation. So I move on to administration and community development. Trustee Brady.
The first thing I have is a motion to approve accounts payable warrant 2024-6 in the amount of $321,640.92.
Second.
Discussion on the warrant. Roll call, please.
Breeden.
Aye.
Target.
Aye.
Mirabella.
Aye.
McCarthy.
Aye.
Whitmore. Aye. White.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Next, I have a motion to approve ordinance for Dennis Crawford's recapture of 85 feet of sewer main in the block of, let me try this one more time. Sorry about that. Motion to approve ordinance for Dennis Crawford's recapture of 85 feet of sewer main in the 100 block of Oakdale Avenue.
We have to wait for
the first and second reading.
Let me do this one more time, how's that?
I missed it. Just have waive the first and second reading.
I waive the first and second reading and make a motion to approve ordinance for Dennis Crawford's recapture of 85 feet of sewer main in the 100 block of Oakdale Avenue.
Second.
Second down here, okay.
I missed it.
And a discussion on that.
Yeah.
I looked for it and I
That's
missed
just a renewal.
Yeah. Okay, roll call.
Breeden.
Aye.
Target.
Aye.
Mirabella.
Aye.
McCarthy.
Aye.
Whitmore. Aye. White.
Motion
Is there a
carried.
variance on ordinance too? Yeah, this is up for ordinance too.
No, not for.
Not an ordinance.
Oh, it's not, it's not,
We're good? Yeah.
Yeah.
Make a motion
This
to.
is not an ordinance.
It's not,
Okay,
so
so it's
we're
not a
good.
text amendment.
Make a motion to approve request for variance for municipal code section 15505, permitted fences specific to 701 Russell Avenue only.
Second.
Any discussion? Sanjay, could you enlighten us on what this is?
Mayor, this is a request for a fence height variance at 701 Russell Avenue. The property is at the southwest corner of Russell and 7th Street, and the north property line along 7th Street is where a lot of school children typically go back and forth to school. The owner has family dogs, and the request is for a 6-foot height allowance along the north property line, such that the dogs won't get excited and start barking at the children and be a noise disturbance to the neighborhood. It's very similar to other variance requests the village has received and has approved in the past.
Yeah, we've done it very recently. Same thing. It's a no-brainer.
Okay, I just wanted to, just give everybody some information on that. All right, thank you, Sanjay. Roll call.
Breeden.
Aye.
Target.
Aye.
Mirabella.
Aye.
McCarthy.
Aye.
Whitmore. Aye. White.
Motion carried. Okay, we'll move on to public safety. Trustee Weiss.
Okay, make a motion to approve request for disposal ordinance to authorize the sale of a 2015 Ford Explorer DL Squad 338, VIN number 1FM5K8AR 4FGC66628.
Second.
Could you read that in police terms for me so I understand the letters? It's just a request.
All right, any discussion on that?
Chief?
Chief.
No, that one's been taken out of service. We do have the new squads that we ordered about 8 months ago up and running. So today, I think they were finally done. So it's no longer needed.
Okay. Thank you, Chief. Roll call.
Breeden.
Aye.
Target.
Aye.
Mirabella.
Aye.
McCarthy.
Aye.
Whitmore. Aye. White.
Aye.
All right, move on to public works and recreation. Trustee Mirabella.
The first thing we have is a traffic calming presentation that Mr. Newgarter is doing.
Do you want to do that now, or do you want to do it last?
I think I want to do that first.
Sure call. We can do it last.
We can get
It's
through the rest
just
of
on
it
here,
pretty
there,
quick.
so.
Yeah.
Well, he said earlier that we were gonna do that and then move that, that's all.
Oh, yeah, I don't care, whatever you guys prefer.
Go ahead and do it now.
Okay. All right, so recently and for years, Public Works and the Police Department have always gotten calls. I'm sure you guys have talked to different people regarding traffic calming procedures, policies, requests, whether it be, you know, a bunch of different ways. So we thought we'd bring it to the board in hopes to get direction from the board of what you guys would like to see staff do, whether it's create a policy, whether it's create a procedure to go with the policy, or to continue how we've done it for years. So traffic calming is a combination mainly of physical measures to reduce the negative effect of motor vehicle use, alter behaviors and improve conditions for non-motorized people. Down. I always forget that part. So as I said, we're just looking for direction tonight. This will be really quick. Typically in the past, what we've done is we've done some kind of study, data collection of some sort, whether it be formal or informal. The packet I gave you tonight, it'll get into some data collection for a specific site that we did most recently this spring, or actually we didn't, the police department did, and I'll say we tonight because it's kind of a combined effort, and I've talked with the police chief about this, and obviously the village administrator, and we're looking for direction totally to how we want to approach these requests or these policies or these conversations that we have. We've done a speed trailer, increased patrol presence, and data collection. We've done this for many years, including the data boxes. We've put one on 11th Street that we'll talk about later. What we do know that does not calm traffic are stop signs. They just don't do it, because they'll stop and then they'll take off faster than they started. The slow children at play signs, we have a few of them. We haven't put them up in probably 25 years. We're actually in the process of taking a bunch of them down, because when they were put up, those kids are probably 40 years old. So we know that those don't stop it. The little person you see in the lower right-hand corner that, you know, mom puts out when the kids are playing out in the street, they don't help. They just really don't help. So that's what we know. David proves it, and it's proven across the country, not just locally. Proven methods, bulb outs or little curb areas that jump out. Zion's got a few of them along Sheridan Road where they use the parking inside them. Chokers, where you literally choke the street down from a 27-foot street to a 24, 22-foot street. Medians, speed cushions are lumps, and speed humps. We all call them speed bumps. Mini roundabouts, and then feedback signs and enforcement. Those are things that we know absolutely do help. Local measures, the speed lumps and humps, these are kind of funny when I was looking through these, and this data that comes up from these traffic engineers. The first picture on the left, it actually has open areas in between the humps or bumps or whatever you want to call them, to allow emergency traffic to get through without having to slow down. So that's what they're designed for. The one on the right, that's just a complete asphalt speed bump that gets permanently installed. These are effective. The average is about 8.9 miles per hour reduction in speed in that area. It doesn't change the volume of traffic. It doesn't send people in different directions or anything like that. Feedback signs, these are also effective. We actually have two of them in town. About 10 years ago, the police department got a Safe Walk to School grant, and this was one of the things, I believe the speed trailer was part of that purchase. And then these feedback signs, we have them Because it was a Safe Walk to School grant, we had to install them close to the school, so it's the 500 block, or 500 or 600 block of Roberts Road, and then just west of, Westfield on 9th Street there. These do help. It also, the newer models, they collect a lot more data than what these do. If we get into a subscription, we can start pulling data from these and see what the traffic is actually like. But we'd have to buy into a subscription that we've just never done.
Do you know how much that subscription is?
What did we say, $3 grand?
1,500 for the speed trailer, and then there's an add-on for each sign.
So we were.
I can get you, multiple data on it, because we just recently got multiple quotes on it, so I can get you. I can give you that.
Yeah, if you could forward that to me.
Yeah.
Because even the
I mean,
newer
it won't
ones
be all
nowadays.
specific, but it'll be,
Right.
yeah.
These are 10 years old, but the technology is so much better today. So if we ever want to install something like this, there's different options out there. Local measures that we have done is obviously, the police department has done the radar or speed control or enforcement in those areas.
Tim, can I ask you a question? Did you look at all the the speed tables that are removable?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep, I will stay away from anything that was purchasable. Obviously, we're trying to do this the cheap way, but if we get into actually wanting to do something and wanting to collect data, then yeah, we're definitely gonna wanna spend a few bucks and budget it and get it right. Because there are a lot of options to do temporary stuff.
I just didn't know, because as an option, when we get into as far as seeing if it's something non-permanent, to see like, okay, does this work for us? And then,
and once we get into some data, this will show the data that we are getting for free through our speed trailer. And if we want to expand that data, it's absolutely what everybody recommends. When you start this process, it's all about collecting the data and find out if it's actually worth it, or are the complaints, are the requests, are they valid? And a lot of the times, and Chief, correct me if I'm wrong, they just don't, the data doesn't support the request. And a lot of times it's the people that live in that neighborhood who know when the police are there or whatever, that those are the ones speeding through. So data collection, the ones we're going to go over tonight, this is just the 2200 block of 11th Street. This is one of our most recent requests. The collection period was March 1st through the end of April. We got the data from 42,000 cars that went through in 61 days. So 42,000 cars in 61 days on 11th Street, which is obviously why it's, from a public works standpoint, it's earmarked as one of our primary roads. The average speed over that 61 days was 25.72. Obviously, we all know the speed limit's 25.
Used to be 30.
In Winter Harbor. We used to have 30.
When I rode my bicycle there as a boy, I grew up with it, and it was 30.
You were really
flying on that.
Right.
Well, you do down that hill. You do on that hill.
And just a reminder for everybody,
Never been any
all of our
hit.
speed limits on all of our own roads are 25 miles an hour. We have no changes, no differences. The differences are the state-owned road, Sharon Road, or 9th Street, Russell, Lewis Avenue, and something like that. Everything that we have is 25 miles an hour. So looking at this is in your packet that you have. This is the volume by speed. Over 61 days, out of 42,000 cars, 7 cars went over 51 miles an hour. 3 of them was actually between 2 and 3 in the afternoon. The average speed was 26 to 30, and that was 15,000 cars. That's the vertical red outline that I have there. That was the most populated area, what cars are actually driving up and down 11th Street. So 7 cars, and if you look, this, oh, it doesn't go on the screen, does it? The 2 3s on there, that's within an hour, but that seems kind of grouped together. So was that emergency vehicles that were actually going through at that time, registering that speed? We don't know, and I don't want to speculate. I understand that the concerns from the residents are there, but before we put in permanent speed bumps or chokers or medians or roundabouts, wherever we're at, before we put that in and spend a lot of money, we want to make sure that the concerns are valid. And this is why, you know, Tony and I talked over the last couple of days about this, and jump in if you feel anything is different than what I'm saying.
No, you're right on track with everything.
So if we go to the total volume by speed distribution, that graph just really kind of jumped out to me, was that most of the vehicles are within 5 miles an hour of the speed limit. And I'm not a police officer, I've never written a ticket, never written a speeding ticket, I have written other ones, but they can tell you, I don't know, 5 miles an hour doesn't seem like a big deal. 5 miles an hour to somebody living on that block in my neighborhood, you know, it does seem fast. It does seem like they're going high. I don't know, maybe they are getting tickets, maybe they aren't. I don't know, that's their call. But there's not many that are going over what we're talking about in terms of spending the money and validating the cost to put in things like speed bumps or chokers or medians or whatever.
Real quick, so 2200 block is just west of Adams?
West of Adams, east of Monroe, yes, sir.
By the hill.
So,
And there's no stop sign from Adams?
It's right there.
to Monroe? Okay.
yep, it's in that circle, so yes, it's east of Monroe, which is on your left there, and Adams on your right, and you're right, it's a long stretch.
And there's no other cross streets though?
Correct.
From that street?
That's that right of way, you know, and I think that's where they get it from, you know, you get to, from Sheridan Road, all the way to Monroe, there's nothing slowing anybody down there.
Except
Side of
when
the
you
pothole.
get to Monroe, to East Broadway, it's,
And then, right, Monroe to East
chocolate
Broadway,
chips,
same
as
thing.
David calls it, the roads are
Right.
not good.
And it is a primary street, it is a lot of traffic. Other options, I mean, you know, our traffic engineers, they gave a proposal of $6,000 to do a 2-week traffic study, which I knew we had this data because we've done this actual area probably 10, 15 times in the last 10 years, 20 years, because this started years ago. Chief, you said something, you just did one on the east side?
Yeah, on Fulton.
Fulton, that's right. So that one proved that nobody was driving that fast. You know, in what they're saying. So essentially, the data was the same as this.
What do we strap to the pole for years too? We've strapped a computer to that pole right there on the hill.
Can you hear me, Tim?
Tell them, hold on 1 second, let me, yes, on 11th Street, right, this utility pole it's right here. There's that old data collection, I don't even know, Michael, does it work?
Yeah, we have a data collection box, it's a radar box that we can move around to different locations throughout town.
That's what we're talking about, yeah.
But it is old technology now, the connections don't connect to modern computers.
Yeah, because that one was installed, or we got that one about 15 years ago. So that was like the mid-2000s when we got it. Because, again, 11th Street's a good spot that we do have these issues. Dave, did you have something? I can't hear you, sir.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
I can, sir, yes.
So, yeah, it's not to lose focus on this, but we're looking at how we're gonna treat these requests.
Mm-hmm.
Moving forward.
Yes, that's 100% right. That's exactly what we're looking for. We're looking for board direction on how we want to proceed with these requests. How do we want to do them? Do we want to set up studies? I mean, we have some equipment of our own that we can do data collection. You know, I've seen a few different communities, some smaller, some large ones. One large one, you know, like being something like Peoria. They had a good policy set in place on how to approach some of these things. So we could spend some time and some effort and create a policy, we can continue with what we're doing on an informal basis. But there's some out there that says, you know what, we're not gonna do anything as a community or as a municipality unless a petition is signed by 50% plus one of your neighborhood. So that kind of jumped out at me, you know, and I think that was actually Peoria who had that. You know, so that person who's making the request has a little legwork to do themselves to find out, is it just that person? Or is it everybody on the block really has a problem? You know, we've had requests for installing stop signs, making some of the two-way stops a four-way stop on the east side. You know, and our stop signs are laid out in the ordinance of how they have to be. And there was a reason why it was done like that. Gosh, I don't know, Bob, did you write that ordinance or was it somebody before you? Because it was a while ago.
It was a long, long time ago, before me.
It was before you. So I didn't know if they had changed it, but we've had a few requests for stop signs.
There were a couple of changes we've made over 27 years. That's about all. Maybe two.
So that, I'm looking for direction, conversation, input. It doesn't have to be tonight. This is just something we wanted to bring to you because we're starting to see requests come to us, whether it's the village hall staff, police department, or public works. You know, they come in and people want to know what we're doing and what can we do.
Do we know where the majority of that, I was surprised how high that traffic count was.
Me too.
Yeah, me too.
Do we know when people get to Monroe, what direction they're turning? Or if they're going straight?
Straight.
I would say we probably have to put the trailer out east of Monroe,
Yeah.
or we are east of Monroe.
Yeah.
Put it west of Monroe and find out if you get 42,000 cars
Right.
in, you know, in a 60-day period.
Right.
That'd be interesting.
Quite a few.
Where is it? No, there's quite a few residents.
No, so that's when he says, you know, a lot of them are probably turning to go back into the Oaks, Pennsylvania, right? I wonder if there's some benefit to even a educational campaign to those neighborhoods. Right, because we could do an email blast, right, and target a neighborhood. And it's something, right? It doesn't, but the data doesn't say it's a racetrack.
Right.
The data says there are a handful of really inconsiderate people, right? I mean, is that
100%. And I think what the data did tell us, there's a lot of traffic on that road.
there's a lot of
You know
traffic?
what
I
I'm
think
saying?
a lot of people use that when school is coming in and out, which I'd
Absolutely.
much rather than be on that road
Yeah.
than driving like that around the students.
Yes.
So I do see, I mean, you can see that the count is quite a bit higher, you know, right as school is letting in and
Mhm.
school is coming out. So I think that's a big use.
Sure, and they probably come up 11th Street to Monroe and cut back through,
Mhm.
down to 10th, you know, to go to the pickup line. I
Right by
think.
my house.
Right by your house, coming through you.
Ton.
You know, instead of using the 9th Street, because, you know, for a while, if you remember, it's probably, was it the spring when we had all those people lined up on 9th
Yeah.
Street?
Because they reversed it.
You know,
You said
and
now you're coming back.
the school helped
Which
with
is
that
better.
traffic, moving that off of
Yes.
9th Street,
Yes,
you know?
it was dangerous.
But I'm pretty sure I bet you, if we went back and looked at, you know, even 2 years ago, when they were lining up the opposite way at the school, that traffic count was probably not nearly as high.
And we could do our own studies if that's what we want, and, you know, Dave, are you still there?
Hey, so, Dave? Okay.
Okay. You know, I don't know if a small committee to get into, deep dive into this, you know, and have longer, easier conversations to bring back to the board or the committees, you know, or just the staff, you know, do a little bit more deep diving into different areas. I would prefer some kind of input from the board, you know, whether it's from a committee level, or even just shooting.
Sounds like a public safety issue to me.
I think a deterrent from a sign is better, even, you don't want your vehicles, every other else vehicles, but our vehicle, our snowplows, we do not want a hump in a road. I think there's better ways
to do things with educating people or putting more signs or something to that effect, or doing better studies. That's my personal opinion. But once you start putting humps in roads, now you're wearing our plows out, you're gonna wear our cop
I
cars
really
out.
do like the table, the speed table idea,
Right.
just because it is removable. I mean, I'd love to see 1 or 2 of those on 9th Street, just during the summer months, around the park and school area.
You gotta speak to your county rep for that.
Yeah. And then,
Hold on, Dave.
but then being able to remove those, because obviously winter, that causes a lot of damage.
Do we know, Tim, or can we ask around to see if there's any municipalities that we're friendly with that might be willing to lend us anything, that we have something that we can...
In terms of what, like data collection?
No, I'm
or-
talking about the speed
Like
tables, to see if they
Speed
were...
tables?
Just to
Yeah,
borrow.
see if there's
Absolutely.
someone that we can
Absolutely.
try that out to see if it...
Pleasant Prairie's gotta have some issues, I got a couple contacts up there, I think that'd be a good
Yeah,
spot
see,
to start.
I was looking up when we talked, what the reduction is, to say, like, a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit, they have to slow to just about 20 miles an hour, for a speed table. So you could see, does this, and do the complaints, or do you get more complaints, be interesting to see.
Sure.
Low cost for some interesting feedback, possibly.
Yeah.
If we happen to find a Blandings turtle in this neighborhood, all of a sudden IDNR will be all over it.
Yes.
They'll take care of it for us.
For sure, that we can say something for that.
Dave, did you have a comment?
We believe that this problem's gonna grow, because unfortunately, traffic violations are not as serious as they used to be in the past. So I think we're gonna be seeing an increase, in our residential streets and traffic, and these traffic issues. So it's just it's a good idea to have a plan in place on how we're gonna address these community complaints.
I'd be very curious on this study on 11th Street during the summer months.
Yeah.
During the summer? Yeah. We could definitely do
Is there
it.
more cars, are they going faster, or are there
Sure.
less cars, are they going faster? I guess I'm most curious if they're going faster in the summer, there's more people out, they're getting more active, kids are driving more, it's not, this time of year, it's like.
Maybe at this time of year, we start doing something maybe quarterly,
Yeah.
do one each quarter and then keep revisiting it annually and see what the trends are. I just went back to this slide just to show the feedback signs. These might be worthwhile and worth the investment, because it'll show people what they're going so they slow down. It's a proven method. I still think once they get past them, then they take off. But you're also collecting the data with these too, especially the newer ones. So if we bought a couple more of these, I believe, and I'll check with our traffic engineers, I believe this could be purchased with motor fuel tax.
Do we know if they run?
I'm guessing they're probably
Then you know.
$5,000 to $10,000 a piece.
Because then you could set up a track, if you
Considering
get the data and it proves
Right.
that certain times are being, because I'd be interested to see Thompson has got a ton of
Right.
traffic too, because that's the other major cut through, and Park Avenue.
Yeah, our primary roads, which I think is gonna go along the lines of what you're talking about, Thompson, Roberts, 11th,
Park.
7th,
Coming to back.
Park Avenue's one, If we ever do resurface Park Avenue, that will absolutely become a racetrack.
I think people like the curve on Fifth Street, to tell you the truth. I think that's a big deterrent for people.
Sure.
I don't want to turn on that curve.
I've had two people on Fifth and Park go into my bushes, one hit a tree,
That's why I
and
don't
one
go over there.
went into the ravine.
On dry pavement, right?
Yeah.
This was not like a winter,
No, it was on dry pavement. Well, the
Yeah.
one that went into the ravine was drunk,
Right.
He didn't hurt himself, but just the car was totaled.
but I know, I've talked to some parents who go to North Prairie and they'll take 6th Street to avoid the traffic, to avoid 5th or 7th. Now, it's a lot slower there, but they prefer that, it takes some of the traffic off of there. But, maybe that's, if you want to set a committee up, if you want the staff to do it, however you want it, because, Dave hit on a good point, these requests or concerns probably are gonna start increasing than what we've seen in the past.
But I want to understand, right? Again, when I go back to the data that was collected, which is fantastic, I do like the idea of quarterly, trying, like for a main, throughput like that, to understand the traffic patterns, how they fluctuate, where they're going once they get to a stop sign, right? But are we trying to solve the issue of calming traffic when it doesn't seem like very many people are going excessively over? Or is it trying to say, how do we help people feel heard who do believe that that their neighborhood is a racetrack? Right, because those are two potentially different issues.
They are absolutely different, and I think maybe setting, like a ground, like if we take the next 6 months or 10 months and we take all of our primary roads and we just take data for 30 days, I don't know how easy it is to deploy that, but if we take one area, one primary road, and we collect data for 30 days and we do the same report, because you're gonna get the same printout that you all have there, and we do that over the next 6 months of seeing what's going on, and obviously it'll be the winter months, but then we can do the same thing in the same areas over, the summer months, and kind of set the standard and see where we're at. And then we're gonna say, these primary roads really do have, well, number one, we'll start getting traffic counts, which I think are gonna surprise all of us.
Is this both directions?
Just one.
Just one, so that's only one direction, is that volume?
I think, I'm sorry, the trailer will only measure one direction, but we usually flip it halfway through a study, so we capture both.
Mayor, we have the Public Safety Committee, which is, Trustee Weiss and Trustee Hargit. So can I make the recommendation that we refer it to the Safety Committee, the trustees, and the Police Chief and Fire Chief to come up with some ideas?
I agree.
We would be happy to.
Thank you. Good, next presentation.
But definitely, I'd like all the board members to verbally tell you,
Oh, for sure,
what they would like.
for sure, absolutely. If you got questions, or you got comments or suggestions of areas, or whatever,
I think we just have.
definitely just shoot it over.
And a lot of people have concerns over by the school, 'cause the big school, just because they're not coming to these California stops.
Right. Sure.
You're gonna have that. When you don't have buses, people have to pick children up. A lot of kids that still ride bikes. A lot of people cut through the park, which is good, until they get to Ninth Street, then they cut across Ninth Street where there's no crosswalk.
Very good.
Good deal, thank you.
Thank you.
They cross Ninth Street from the park, there's no crosswalk.
From what?
From the big school, come pick up their little kids. All right, so we're moving on?
Yes, sir.
Everybody's in agreement on that? What, Mr. McCarthy said? Right,
Yep.
so
I believe everybody agrees.
I agree.
keep in mind that I think it's gonna affect the police and the non-plow trucks the most, is what, if we do something to obstruct the road. All right, so the second item we have, and we're changing from our agenda, is to make a motion to approve, to waive the requirements in municipal code 31.047J for the purpose of approving a bid, owning, building, and remodeling services for roof repair work at the Village Park Concession Building, 2700 9th Street, in an amount not to exceed $10,790, with the understanding that the Lions Club will generously cover the entire expense.
Second.
Any discussion?
So we need to do this. That building's in very disarray, and having conversation with David, once we get the roof fixed, we're there. But we are gonna have to come together as a group, whether it's through volunteering or wherever it is, and we have enough people I know that can do things in town, that are willing to do things in town, to make that building better before we do our peer thing with our plaque. That's the goal I think David wants to get, so we'll get the roof underway, and then eventually we want to make that thing a little looking better.
Yes.
Yes.
Are we using it today for concessions?
We use it.
Is it unusable?
We use it when we do events, and we use it to store our equipment in the back. And, there's some storage stuff we have to get out. I mean, we've had to move stuff when we have events and doors and different. It's more of a storage spot for our, ATV vehicles that we use for the, for the fields and stuff. But the front part we use when we have events, we use it.
Trustee, to answer that question, so coming out of COVID, we haven't used it as a concessions during baseball, softball games, but that's been more of a staffing issue than, the building is usable, so we, as trustee mentioned, for summer fair events that we have, outdoor events, we utilize that space as the kitchen space, but we haven't staffed it for ball games.
Is there any market for leasing it?
That's been some discussions that we've had as well.
It's hard with the field space, the way they
Yeah,
have. It's been our biggest since forever. I mean, that's just, because we used to have a vehicle actually that went around and he would sell off the trailer, which I miss. My neighbor used to do it, and they're actually the people that raised all the money to do our south diamond. It's the best shape I can.
Yeah, we had a large group of parent volunteers. Their kids were involved with baseball, so
But I think
that would help us. You can set up the concessions, drive four-wheeler carts around field to field, which help boost up sales at that time.
Just to say too, that we got 4 bids on this, and the Lions Club didn't want to make that decision on who to choose, wanted the board to do that, so this was actually the lowest bid. So I want to also gratefully thank the Lions Club for, once this is all remodeled and fixed, they're going to be paying the whole $10,790.
What night again is Lions Club bingo?
Second.
Yeah, right.
November 2nd.
And,
It's Saturday morning.
yeah.
They do a lot for us.
They do. Over the years, they've done a lot.
Right.
This year, they've done even more
Every
than
fair.
They can always use volunteers. I know Community 365 helps with volunteering for the bingo, and Lions Club is very generous in sharing the proceeds with that, because Lions Club struggles to get their own volunteers. That's why they partnered with C365. They provide the volunteers, to do it. They share the proceeds with them, but both, struggle to get people to work it. So they can always use volunteers to help and to do that. So gets a lot of revenue, but not a lot of people that can help with it. Because I know my wife's had lots of times where she's like, no, let's do bingo, I gotta go do it, you gotta take Cece to soccer or whatever, and it's like, so, anyone who wants to help with it, a lot of people wanna play, but not a lot of people help do it, and they provide so much for us, so.
Yeah. They've been amazing this year, they really have.
Yeah.
Good, thank you. Any other discussion items? Okay. Roll call.
Braden. Aye. Target.
Aye.
Mirabella.
Aye.
McCarthy.
Aye.
Whitmore. Aye. White.
Motion carried.
So this one, it says what it says, but I believe it's gonna be the first one, Bob, where we're just reading the ordinance, and we're gonna say that it's gonna be presented at the next meeting, so.
Right, we're waiving the formal reading, so we don't have to read 20 pages text into the record.
So, make a motion to waive the first reading of the water and sewer rates implementing the water meter replacement program and open for discussion. The ordinance will be presented at the November meeting.
Have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Basically, all that was presented to the board regarding the water meters, correct, Tim?
The new rate increase,
Right.
and then the new meter program that we're gonna do as well. Yes.
You may want to look at the existing ordinance and compare it, because it's a total rewrite to try to make it a little more easy to understand, because the old ordinance embedded the rates inside the text, and it was more than a little complicated. Debbie ran into more than a few problems with some of the ratepayers were never terribly happy about the language, and I'm hoping that this will actually make it a little easier for people to understand and to follow what it is, what their obligations are, and, at some level, why the charges, there are several different charges for, water, sewer, the delivery rate, and the water usage, for example, have both been separated, so you can kind of more easily track what the differences are and why they are there.
Once you read the new one, you'll see a lot less, maybe Bob won't say it, a lot less lawyer speak in real person terms. Right, Bob? I mean, we really made it that way this time.
I did try to actually turn it into English. It was an interesting thing for me, but.
It was.
I can do it. I proved that to myself. Thank you.
Right. No, it is more easily read this way, and I think it's a lot less confusing.
And it is a restricted fund, so people gotta realize that.
Exactly.
It's not like we can just go waste the money that we're generating on this.
Just reinvesting.
Yes.
People, if you read it carefully too, you can see where the expenses come from, that there's a pass-through for what we have to spend to just buy the water in the first place.
Any discussion? All right, roll call, please.
Braden.
Aye.
Parkett.
Aye.
Mirabella.
Aye.
McCarthy.
Aye.
Whitmore. White.
That was just a reading, right? That was just a first reading?
Yep.
Yes, first reading.
The next item is a motion to approve the request for the 2024-2025 preventative maintenance of HVAC not to exceed $14,500.
Second.
Any discussion?
This is just, we do this every year. It's just
Yeah, we do.
And this one, the only difference this year is this 14,500 now covers all municipal buildings. This isn't just, one department, we've kind of collaborated them all, and just looking at what we spent in repairs that could have been prevented if we had done preventive maintenance, we talked about it for years.
Trustee Weiss was big on always
Right.
talking about.
We look back and we're over $60,000 in repairs just this budget year. So getting this different company out that's gonna go around and look at everything, and it's already benefited. So I think this will cover the spring and the fall for the next 2 years.
Very good. Thank you, Tim. Any other discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Braden.
Aye.
Parkett.
Aye.
Mirabella.
Aye.
McCarthy.
Aye.
Whitmore. White.
Motion carried.
Next item is for the motion to approve the request for the final payment to Peter Baker and Sons Company in the amount of $68,379.91 for the 2023 street rehabilitation project.
Second.
Okay, discussion. I see you gave us a paper on this.
This actual one, sir, is
It's a
the
final
final
payment.
payment for last year's program. So
Oh,
it closes out last year's program,
Okay.
and now we're getting ready to start
Yeah.
this year's program.
Okay. All right, any discussion? Roll call?
Braden.
Aye.
Parkett.
Aye.
Mirabella.
Aye.
McCarthy.
Aye.
Whitmore. White.
Motion carried.
Final item is for a motion to approve the bid of the 2024 sidewalk replacement project to Whitney Moran Construction Company for the bid of $21,000.
Second.
Discussion. Now, the sidewalks,
Yep.
could you explain what that is?
Absolutely. So this project covers 30 to 40 sidewalk squares, so just normal, which are measured 5 by 5s.
Right.
So we're gonna replace 40 of them, up to 40 of them, and then up to 10 ADA ramps with the plates. So some of them, they've settled over the years. This year's project is gonna cover Prairie Ridge Estates, and it will complete that subdivision, and then we just kind of keep moving around and trying to get as to many as we can.
So you have to keep the ADA stuff definitely up to snuff.
Right.
That's here to do repairs.
And this project, pending getting approval, our goal is to finish it before trick or treating this year. So I'm pushing them hard.
Thank you, Tim. Roll call?
Braden.
Aye.
Parkett.
Aye.
Mirabella.
Aye.
McCarthy.
Aye.
Whitmore. White.
Motion carried. Public comments, if you have anybody in the audience who would like to address the board, we just ask you to step up to the podium and state your name and your address. move on to unfinished business. I'll start down trustee Whitmore.
I apologize in advance, I have quite a bit.
That's why I started down there.
About a month ago, David and I met with two representatives from the City of Hope. We had a really great discussion about how we can really just be more on the same page, especially with events in the community, seeing if we can have either their transportation start bringing them to things like the Lions Club Bingo, a lot of our workout classes, activities for both patient and caregiver. And so we're really hoping that that is really going to come into effect, come to fruition here soon, just to really get our numbers up as far as the events and be able to tailor some of our events to really meet their needs. They have a lot of patients who stay, weeks at a time, and so it'd be really nice to kind of see what they need as far as activities for them to do, especially come weekends, evenings. We can start catering our programs to them. This Friday is the Community 365 Trivia Night, supporting Winthrop Harbor officers for their uniforms. There are actually two events, one again being this Friday. There are still a few tables left if anybody wants to buy some. They have already raised over $11,000 towards these uniforms without any of the events taking place. So that's really exciting. I hope to see a lot of support from the village. It's great because then taxpayers don't have to pay for the uniform. And then also we have Bingo Bonanzas we've already mentioned for the Lions Club on the 2nd. This Saturday we have Rumble in the Harbor. We would love to see a greater response. Ticket sales have been a little bit lower, however, we do sell the most within like 24 hours of the event. So we've got some new foods on the menu, lots of activities. There's going to be a costume contest, some new acts or matches, I guess. And then I just have to say, I know we're going to bring our son this time. It is awesome how they interact with the kids.
Oh, yeah.
They do so much for, especially the little boys who come out. So definitely family-friendly activity. The Freak Show and Tell, that is a 21 and over. That is, I'm so sorry, I have a PT call. Go ahead.
Trustee Brady.
She was on a roll, so hopefully she'll be able to come back and finish those. I'm interested.
She will.
I just wanted to thank the Lions Club for all that they do. It's amazing what they do for this village, and they put a lot of hard work into it, and it does not go unnoticed, and it doesn't go unappreciated. I just wanted to thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Brady.
Sure.
Well, one of the things I was going to say was to thank Trustee Whitmore, along with David, for our connection with City of Hope, because it really is a big deal. They're, I think they're the biggest employer in Zion right now, so having that relationship with them is really big, and it can mean a lot for us in our development to have that connection with them. So thank you, Trustee Whitmore, for making that connection and starting that relationship, because I think it's going to be really important to our continued economic development. Thank the Lions Club for all they've been doing. Did want to talk briefly about just the work that economic development's been doing over the past month or so with the ICSC, International Council of Shopping Centers Conference. It was a few weeks ago. Originally, those going were going to be some staff and myself. I got sick and wasn't able to go, but some staff went to the conference. In anticipation of it, beforehand, staff put together a really detailed section of the website, so you can go to Discover the Harbor to check that out, which was great. And then at the conference in Chicago, it was just a one-day, daytime event. They made a lot of great connections. Not only sharing about the harbor, but getting a lot of data and everything. And now they've expanded the website to list potential leases on Sheridan Road. So if you check that out, you can see the start of that. And then we're hoping to, in the future, to use that to start, we'll start talking about what we hope to be doing, which is to provide incentives for startups in Winthrop Harbor, because we realize that Winthrop Harbor is a great place for new businesses, for startups, because we've seen what's happened with local startup businesses and how successful they've gotten. The brewery, Kyle, with that, starting here, the kombucha place, all fleet, these businesses that have grown from startups to really, huge businesses. We'd love to see other businesses and be a place where other businesses can do that, and a way to do that is to welcome entrepreneurs in and give them the incentives they need and the environment they need to not just to survive, but to thrive. So those are a few of the things that we're working on in economic development, and it really is a team effort. Trustee Braden, myself, Bob, David, and staff, the Economic Development Commission, as well as the rest of the board, everybody as well. Trustee Whitmore and the work that she's doing. Were you about to jump in there, Dave?
Nope, you're handling, I don't have anything else.
Okay, you made a noise, so I thought maybe you were jumping in there, that's all, so. Okay, that was Bob's phone, never mind, so. Okay. The one last thing I had was, and I'll pass it down, next month we are going to have on the agenda the food truck ordinance, which is currently on a pilot project basis, and next month we'd like to adopt the ordinance permanently. So I'm just handing out the ordinance that we adopted previously as a pilot project for everyone to review before November, where we'd like to adopt it as a permanent ordinance, so if everyone can review it. If you have any issues, questions, things you'd like to be changed, you can email Dave before then for review, so that hopefully by November we can have that before the board, so that we can adopt the permanent ordinance, waive the first and second reading, and adopt the permanent ordinance for a food truck code.
Thank you, Trustee McCarthy. Go back to Trustee Murphy.
I apologize.
No problem.
Having more sleeves, and Dana and I are pulling double duties on meetings. So we do have, the Free Show and Tell 21 and Up show. It is a very interesting show. It's a one-man circus, very exciting. He has performed all over Chicago. It's actually a really in-depth show. So I encourage a lot of people to come out to that.
What day is that?
That is,
Saturday, November 16th.
thank you,
That's 18 plus.
18 plus.
Yes.
We do have basketball signups going on right now. We also have signups starting for Trunk or Treat. That's always a huge event and growing every year. I think last year was one of our biggest years. So definitely start getting your signups in. We also have a tombstone decorating contest going on. So if any group or even individual wants to decorate a tombstone, we're having a little contest just to kind of make a few more memories, and then, make a little bit more decorations for Winthrop Harbor. Also then, Community 365 Mayoral Luncheon is going to be November 14th at 12 o'clock at Illinois Beach State Park. And then also I just want to thank the Lions Club for the new roof project. That's going to be huge for us. Obviously, we all know it needs some TLC, so I'm really happy that that's going to be for helping us out.
Okay, Trustee, I'd like to also say thank you for going with Dave for City of Hope. It's gonna be a huge, asset to our community,
Yeah.
having them on our side, so.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yep.
Trustee White?
Thank you. I want to thank the Lions Club for their donation again. I mean, every year they come up and they really help out this village, really part of the community. Also, I want to say that Buddy and I are very happy to be calming the traffic. I think maybe Buddy, you and I should be out there in the traffic waving to the people.
We'll teach football with that idea.
But anyway, I'm looking forward to it, Buddy, to work on that with the chief and the fire department to see what we can come up with.
Thank you, Trustee White. Trustee Hargit?
I have nothing.
Trustee Marabella?
So we have our, Tim was kind enough to give us this street rehabilitation project schedule, so we have that, as you'll notice on there. Halloween is blocked off. We've been working on that diligently to get that done before winter. So it's nice to have something you can see and people can come up here and check it out, or it should be on the website too, right?
It's going on the website, I just finished the schedule today. I got the sign from them.
You see this, that's really nice, that's what we're doing, and it shows you where our money's going. There is 2 more weeks of branch pickup. I know some people had asked me, and there was rumors going around, you know, it's Tim's favorite time of year, but that we were only doing it 1 weekend. I'm like, no, it's the whole month. Sometimes we don't get, like, if there's a storm, luckily, knock on wood, we haven't had any bad storms, barely had any rain. So, it's not been real windy, it was windy the other day, so we got 2 more weeks of that. So get them out there. If we don't get to it on Monday, we always try to get there on Tuesdays. We're also gonna be preparing our trucks for the snow. We have 900 tons of salt in the barn, we got 300 more to order for this winter, so we'll be doing that. The guys work diligently on that. I'd just like to thank Alana, Scott and his staff for all the things. We've been doing a lot of stuff there, and the rec board. Can't leave out the rec board. You know, I get there sometimes, I try to help out. I'm gonna try to get there this weekend. It's hard to get volunteers, so we're always looking for volunteers. I tend to like to do the littler kids more than the older kids, just because it's easier for me. There's less people touching, but, you know, just little kid stuff, so it's easy to do that, but they do a lot. We've done a lot of events, and there's a lot of cool events, and we got a new fridge in there. I mean, it's coming, it's came a long way. So just like to say thanks to that group. There's a lot behind the scenes that they do that people don't see all the time. So. And then I'd like to thank the Lions Club. They always do stuff. They come up there. They're just so good to us. They've always been good. We've been good to them. I mean, as much as we can, but they've been good to us. They're getting older. Like Dana mentioned, thank God Community 365 is helping them, because that's a big help. And then I'd just like to thank the police department for helping Tim with this study. I think the study will be good. I think the data, like Buddy said, the data will show what we need to do and not just jump into something, which I was afraid that's what we were going to do. So I'm glad we have that, and I'm glad you guys are taking on that task. So thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Marabella. All right. Need a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Braden. Aye. Hargit.
Aye.
Marabella.
Aye.
McCarthy.
Aye.
Whitmore. Aye. White.
All right.
Yes, sir.